Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to also share, like, and comment.
Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one strong and free. Africa is our motherland. Passion, truth, and praise by God's good hand. Let us all happy for joy as one. Brothers under the sun. Oh, one strong and free. When we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one strong and free. Apostle Pule will give us the opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we thank you this morning for your grace. Lord, we pray for grace for our nation, for grace for all of us as leaders in this nation. We ask you, Lord, to be with us as today we address the nation. Father, bless those who will be speaking and guide us. We submit this meeting in your hands and ask you for protection and wisdom and strength. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ we pray. Amen. Amen.
We may take our seats. Members of the press, just to make sure that we're on the same page, and if we skip one important topic, you may raise it by way of question. We will start with the introductions of new members. Our chair of Uka will combine his opening remarks with the introduction of new members. That will be followed by recognizing of the police, and those things will be taken by various speakers, and then we're going to tackle tribalism in the management of national affairs, and we'll lastly talk about the failure by the UPND government to manage the fundamentals that provide or underwrite the resilience of our economy. Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Mwauka Wonse. Thank you very much for coming over to our press conference, and we're going to ensure that we do not keep you unnecessarily long. We'll be to the point in terms of what we are going to be delivering to you. The first order of business is for me to be able to introduce new members that we do have who have joined the United Kwacha Alliance. The United Kwacha Alliance, as you can see, is an alliance which keeps on growing. It keeps on growing because it has touched the hearts and minds of everybody in Zambia, all well-meaning people in Zambia, and you are seeing more and more parties deciding to come and join us. Today I'll be introducing one party, but that is not the only party that has expressed interest in joining the United Kwacha Alliance. As we speak now, we are talking to various parties and seeing and confirming whether we truly are on the same page with them before we formally actually announce that they have joined the United Kwacha Alliance. So your alliance is a growing alliance, it's a strong alliance, it's an alliance that brings you hope for the future, an alliance which will change the lives of the Zambian people. Joining us in doing that is a party which is very new, called the New Era Democratic Party. The New Era Democratic Party was registered in December of last year, and they have decided that they would like to be part of the United Kwacha Alliance. We have had various sessions with them, and we have identified that, yes, indeed, we are of the same mind as them, and therefore, it would only make sense that we work together. The president of the New Era Democratic Party is currently not in the country. She is in the United States. But however, her vice president is here, and she is the one who's going to represent the New Era Democratic Party at this meeting, and who will also speak to you about themselves and also as to the reasons why they've joined the United Kwacha Alliance. I'll therefore call upon Ms. Exilda Mulenga to come to the microphones in order to be able to address the gathering.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the New Era Democratic Party, I am deeply honored and grateful to accept our admission into this esteemed alliance. We extend our heartfelt thanks to each member for your trust and confidence in welcoming us.
Our logo, I wish I could share it with you. We have a chain inside our logo which symbolizes unity. So we believe that united like this, all these minds here, is what is going to liberate the nation of Zambia. So we strongly believe in unity. We strongly believe in advocating togetherness as one way that we are going to liberate this country. Today we are faced with so many challenges. The nation has been taken behind, almost 10 steps behind. So we feel the only way we can bring back the nation is to join hands with everyone who means well for the nation of Zambia. So for us, our interest is to see that the Zambian people are liberated from the current hardships, the current challenges, the current difficulties that we've been able to see. So without the voices of everyone, our being here today, we are simply calling the entire nation of Zambia to rally behind with us. The only way we can remove this government that has taken us 10 steps behind as a nation is to join forces, to join hands. Nothing else, nothing personal. It's all about Zambia. Like we always say, as New Era, we believe that the future of this nation is crying for help, and we can only liberate it and save it if we are united. This nation does not belong to anyone. For us as New Era, we feel Zambia belongs to our children's children. Imagine if we don't join hands to fight the fuel at 35 kwacha, to fight the minimum at 400, to fight the 15 hours of load shedding, we will not leave a future for our children. We are here to fight for our generation. We are here to fight for democracy. We are New Era Democratic Party. We believe in the democratic dispensation of this country. So we will not let this country go back 10 steps because of one person, because of a clique of individuals who do not mean well for this country. So we are speaking to the Zambian people today as New Era. Please join forces with us to save this nation. Thank you very much.
You can see the vibrancy that is coming into your United Kwacha Alliance. That is what is going to make us grow stronger and stronger. I'm sure, having heard the two, you've got no doubt as to the quality and the commitment and zeal of those who are strengthening us. Before we go to the program as stated by the Master of Ceremonies, I would like to invite our coordinator to say some words.
Should I?
Okay. Okay, all right. Good morning, everyone. I've only got 3 voices saying good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. I'll ride on the protocols that have been observed. I would like to talk about the issue of the police and also the clergy. We are sure that you have noted the assault by this UPND government on the church through its police service, which have now started calling the police force. We have also seen that the rights of individuals are being infringed upon by law enforcement agents. For example, you saw the lady on the copper belt, the lady and other people who were selling mealie meal on the copper belt, and the very senior Zambia National Service officer went there to confiscate the mealie meal. Now, don't forget that Zambia is a free market economy, and that lady and the people around there were not breaking any law. The Zambia National Service senior person did not state what's wrong or what law those people broke, but they went ahead and confiscated that mealie meal. Our message as United Kwacha Alliance to those law enforcement officers, the police officers, wherever they are, who have continued to break the law, presumably because they want to keep their jobs, is very simple. We've only got about 2 years to the elections. And don't forget that this is a one-term government. When you break the law, that same law will visit you when the government changes. That same law is what will be applied to you, the law that you are breaking. You need to bear in mind, and I'm speaking to all the police officers, wherever you are in this country, you need to bear in mind the fact that we do have a constitution, and when you break that constitution, you are breaking the law. So when the government changes, you will lose your job and you will lose your benefits because you have infracted the law. So let this be a warning to you. You are trying to save your jobs, but you may just find that you are going to lose your jobs because of your actions. This onslaught on the church has really mounted. We have seen so many men of the cloth being called by the police. Our message to the men of the cloth is, do not fear those that can only harm your body but cannot harm your soul. Do what is right. Stand on your rights and don't cower before these police officers. Respond to them. Was the case yesterday. We saw the case in Kasanda, in Kabwe, where that priest responded to the police appropriately. So don't be afraid to answer the police because they are not standing on firm ground. So that is just a message that we wanted to send to the police officers. Thank you.
I think you have heard from President Kateka that the Zambia Police Service is evolving, and in fact she now thinks that they've graduated to being Zambia Police Force rather than service. But I'd like to let you know that they are moving at extremely fast speed, and in my mind They've graduated not from Zambia Police Service to Zambia Police Force, but to Zambia Gestapo Police. Now, would like to thank Bishop Mulenga, who, as the coordinator stated, dealt so professionally with that policeman and made it quite clear to the Zambian people that the level of intolerance which is there is really very sad. To think that you can go into the house of the Lord and intimidate people reminds us of how this government has no respect for the church. No wonder they do not believe in the National Day of Prayer. I believe you have not seen President Hakainde at any one of the national days of prayer. No wonder the first ministry that he decided he was going to do away with when he was forming cabinet was the Ministry of Religious Affairs. At the time, we were not putting the knots together. But now, with what he is doing with the police, summoning priests, going and stopping people from going to churches, it now becomes clear. The thread is now tying a knot, showing that this government has got no regard for religion, no regard for the church. No wonder they can call even bishops to be Lucifers. And there is no apology which comes from them for calling their lordships Lucifers. If indeed they did have respect for the church, President Hakainde would have withdrawn those statements and publicly apologized. Until he does so, it will keep on confirming his dislike for the church. We talked about the harassment which was there yesterday, and I would like to ask President Chanda to just simply give you an idea of what exactly happened and the extent of intimidation there was on the part of the police. And I must give a warning to all of you. The details is about to give you a spine chilling. President Chanda.
Thank you very much. I acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, the 16th President. I acknowledge the presence of all the presidents. Let me say all protocols observed. I want to state that it was sad to see the police coming to barge into the bishop's office. At first, we saw them in town. They were all over town. And the information that we got is that they mounted up police officers from Lusaka up to Chingola. And in certain areas, cadres had stopped, especially in the market areas where they would feel that maybe we may be able to stop by there. Former head of state would want to buy some fruits or whatever. They made sure that they had put cadres together with the police in all the points.
Which cadres?
UPND cadres.
Very good.
The situation was bad in Kabwe. The whole Kabwe town had police presence all over. On top of that, they had the police vehicle with guns following us wherever we went. They saw we entered the church. We thought, okay, maybe they'll carry on. What did we see? Whilst His Excellency was paying a cater score on the bishop, we just saw somebody barging in, chief inspector, whatever. I'm sure all of you saw. Chief Inspector Mapande, no, I've come to tell you, Bishop, that you are not supposed to have a meeting here. with this man pointing at our president here. It was really a shameful moment, and this guy was there shivering. I tell you, I want to just give a warning to the Inspector General of Police. Number one, whatever you are doing, you are appointing authority to break the law. He's abrogating the constitution. His duty, when you look at the duties of the president, is that he's supposed to promote democracy. But democracy at the moment is under siege. We are now in a police state. You know, when the former head of state made a statement to say we are in a police state, I thought it was just a joke or maybe just a statement. But yesterday we proved that. The police coming to harass the bishop, and they persisted to say, no, you should not have this meeting. And the bishop stood his ground. From there we moved from the office, we went into the conference room. The police were still there until when we came out and the 6th Republican president put that police in his place. Do you want us to go at the police? I said no. But why are you following us? No, we are not following. Okay, go. Still they are not know until when you go. We decided to return back to Lusaka. On our way back, Kandas also charged up, chasing us. Our lives and the life of the 6th president was at a risk, because these guys were even overtaking and all those. But unfortunately, Kairi, in Sarayari, ingira tabakote tu fiyo tu ingi. Bari chimba. President Aka Indechema, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I want to state this. What happened yesterday is an embarrassment to the democracy, and I want the international community not to be silent on this matter. Especially the West. Especially Uri. Those from the western side where they say he's in the champion leagues now. You people from the champion league, this country is a democratic state. Where we have the freedom of expression, freedom of movement. All citizens, including the former president, has the right to stop anywhere. So meaning that today they want us to be just confined. We want to state that Zambia and Zambians, we should all be awake. Come 2026, let's be able to put this man in his place. Yes. That's right. It's a shame, Chair. I want to state that the Zambian people have the right to call for an election, and I think it's long overdue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. President Chanda, in fact, left out one bit which he had briefed me on. They arrived at one of the roadblocks, and there were policemen there. And a few meters away from behind the policemen were these cadres with piles of rocks which were there. The police were clearly seeing them, but were allowing them to be there. Luckily, they went through very quickly, but evidently what was planned is that those cadres were going to stone the vehicles. The question is, why were the police, who could clearly see this, not doing something about that? It shows you that Raphael Musamba, when he talks about junkies in the police, these are the junkies he's talking about. Those are the ones who are the junkie police. Still on the question of the police, we have seen how they've been harassing our colleagues in the New Heritage Party, in terms of the rally that they are going to be having on the 1st of June this year. For the very first time in Zambia's history, when notification is given to the police by a political party to have a rally, they started asking for the registration certificates and so on.
Original.
And not copies, but insisting we want to see the original. That has never happened before, and this should be the last time they ever attempt to do that to any political party or any organization. They even went further to now start demanding to know who the speakers will be at the rally. Again, this is unprecedented. We are now worried that the next thing they'll ask for is to see the speeches before they can be delivered. That is the trend in which we are going. That's why earlier on I said it seems as if we are going towards a Gestapo police in Zambia. Those are the reasons why I say that. It was not a joke. It is something that we must fight against. Musamba should not be allowed to set up a Gestapo unit. Having said that, I'll hand back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Perhaps you may wish to update the nation on the issue of our registration, which is being frustrated right, left, and center.
Thank you very much. With regards to the registration, as you all know, there are two entities that we wish to register. That is the United Kwacha Alliance, which is the umbrella body under which we all fall. There is also Uka as a party that is being floated, so that come the elections, that is the party under which we will put up candidates right from the ward, that is councillors, right up to the president. And these applications have been put to the authorities, but they are so afraid of the United Kwacha Alliance, so afraid of Uka, that they are putting very unnecessary roadblocks. For example, with the United Kwacha Alliance, we are now at the stage where we've been waiting for the last 2 months for the police merely to clear the fingerprints. That is the stage at which we are. It is only after the police have cleared the fingerprints and endorsed on the United Kwacha Alliance application certificate, application form, that we can take them to the registrar of societies.
And they did that for Miles Sampa overnight.
And they did that for Miles Sampa, not overnight. They did it in minutes.
Thank you for to still
on a public holiday, in the middle of the night, in minutes. But with us, 2 months, they're still holding on. And they come and tell people that United Kwacha Alliance is not serious. United Kwacha Alliance does not want to register itself. We can only register when they release back those forms to us, because those are the ones you take for the registration. They have not given us any reason why for the last 2 months they are sitting on those forms. If they find that Sakuba Squatter has got a criminal record that he stole from a shop somewhere years ago, they should tell us that no, we're not giving you these back because Sakuba Squatter stole money at such and such a place. Can you replace Sakuba Squatter? That is what they should do, not merely sit on the documents and say nothing. With Uka as a party, We have made an application, and at first they said Ukani can be registered, also Arise can be registered. When we wanted to take the next step, all of a sudden a phone call came. It's as if somebody at the registrar's office said, no, you cannot allow them, and said, no, those clearances we told you have, they are not, those names are not available. You cannot register. We asked them, why are they not available? And they gave no answer. We put it in writing to ask, why have you refused? Can you give us in writing the reasons? We had to do that because when the registrar makes any decision, you've got a right to appeal. The right of appeal goes to the Minister of Home Affairs. But if you don't have anything given back to you in writing, you cannot lodge that appeal. So they're playing a game of simply holding back. My challenge to them is, give us the reasons, whatever the reasons are, no matter how ridiculous the reasons are, give them to us so that we can appeal to the Minister of Home Affairs. We know that the Minister of Home Affairs is going to not look at our appeal favorably. We know that because he has been making statements with regards to the United Kwacha Alliance and with regards to Uka. So naturally, he's already got a biased mind. But we will still go through that process because we cannot go to court if we haven't exhausted the administrative processes. So we'll go to Honorable Jack Mwimbu. Honorable Jack Mwimbu has already shown, as I said, through various statements, that he's not going to deal with it in a fair manner. He's already prejudiced. And then we'll go to court. This is not the only issue that we are taking to court. We're instructing our lawyers to commence, even for the United Kwacha Alliance, an action to compel the police, to compel Grafe Musamba to give us the results of the fingerprint searches they've done on the officials we put forward. They should not play these games. They should just be honest. I know you're afraid of us, but whether you play these games or not, you're still going to face us. Because our plan B is that if they keep on playing these games and we go to court and this matter takes long in court, any one of the parties we have here will be the one which will adopt to say United Kwacha Alliance is going to put up candidates under such and such a party. So these games will not get them anywhere. And perhaps they don't realize that, in fact, by playing these games, they are getting us to have a lot of sympathy from the general public, because the general public are seeing that this is unjust. And a lot of people are asking, why are they so afraid of Uka? Why, Uka must have something that they're offering for them to be so afraid of Uka. And to answer you, the Zambian people, yes, Zambia has got something to gain from Uka. And I would also like to state that in terms of the name Uka, the name cannot be stopped. It would be like us trying to go and stop the use of the name Badi. You know, they go around, Badi will fix it, Badi will fix it, and so forth. Badi has never been registered. It doesn't need to be registered. It's being used. UPND Alliance. UPND Alliance. It has never been registered. It's being used. Not only being used, but even when you have national affairs, they will even appear on official programs, UPND Alliance partners. They will even have chairman and so on. By the way, they even wrote us a threatening letter a few months back, a silly threatening letter, and we told them that no, we don't even want to bother answering you, and they never carried out their threats. They went away. But that's a story for another day. So in terms of Uka, whether registered or not, it shall be used, just like Bali is used, just like UPND Alliance is used. And it is in the hearts of all the Zambians. We cannot take it out of the hearts of Zambians. So Uka is unstoppable.
Correct. Uka!
You've also got them out there putting out things saying that, especially through diggers and so on and other media, the master as well, that we are cowards. I would like to tell you that this coward here was arrested in Kabwe. And you cannot say that what he did, walking into a field where there were policemen all over with heavily armed, is cowardice. That is not cowardice. You cannot say that what President Chanda and 6th Republican President, His Excellency ECL, went through yesterday is cowardice. You cannot say that what will happen on 1st June 2024 in Mandevu is cowardice. All those who think that the
years, it's actually 60 years behind, because at that time anyone could stand anywhere. I remember I'm from Lemba, Kaonde was MP for Chipata, and this Rotawina was MP for Chirabongwe. Today it can't happen. President Apostle.
Mr. Chairman, allow me to acknowledge His Excellency, the 6th President of Zambia, President Edgar Lungu, best known to us as ECL. I acknowledge you, fellow presidents and leaders at different levels of political party. I can see Zayelo at the back. Hi there, Zayelo. That's the Vice President of the PF, Mr. Honorable Mulenga. Firstly, before I even talk about what he referred to, what is dividing us, which obviously is tribalism, I want to echo the words that have been spoken about the shrinking democratic space in Zambia. I'd like to talk about the fact that Zambia sadly is become a police state. Some of you think we are not yet a police state. That is what, not even Musamba, you know, is by HH, our president, to go and impinge, to go and attack the president's rights of association, of assembly, of expression. That's not acceptable, fellow Zambians. That's not acceptable. I will call upon the church to take note of what is going on. I will call upon you Zambians to take note of what's going on. But I want to warn President Hakainde, you promised the Zambians that you are going to make sure that this country enjoys democracy. No wonder he has not yet allowed the repeal of the Public Order Act. That's what he promised, because he's using it to assault the former president. He's using it to assault other Zambians. This has to be condemned, fellow Zambians, in no uncertain terms. We want to encourage Your Excellency. The Lord is with you. And if the Lord is with you, who can be against you? I believe the multitude of Zambians are with you. The reason he's doing this is because he's afraid of you. We support you. We are with you in Uka and in our Christian Democratic Party. And all well-meaning Zambians should support you. Thank you so much on that point. Now, all of us are aware that President Hakainde has been instrumental in dividing this country. You may be aware of the fact that this country is divided between there is a special section of the country called the Zambezi region, southern, western, and northwestern provinces of Zambia. Most of the key political appointments have come from that region. But now, when you go further as to what is happening in the public service, in the parastatals, he has even ignored the other two provinces, western and northwestern. The focus, if you follow what's going on, is that he's appointing only Tongas to fill those positions. Some of you are not aware of the fact that even headmasters are being removed. Police officers are being removed to be replaced by those from Southern Province. This is not acceptable. This is not the Zambia we want. I believe that, kateka wafya sana. I'd say promise ukutila all appointments will be across the board. I believe all of you have seen for yourselves what is going on. This is not acceptable. I was recently in Chienge, and do you know who is the council secretary in Chienge is? A man from Southern Province. I won't mention his name, but it begins with ha. And that has become common. But this is not good for Zambia. I want to, before I hand over, I had very few minutes to speak, mention especially our Western partners in development, the stakeholders, and particularly the British High Commissioner. His name is His Excellency Woolley. What happened yesterday, Mr. Woolley, is that democracy? I believe that the statement he made about democracy being so good in Zambia must have embarrassed the British government, because if they see what is going on here, where the former head of state cannot democratically go and pay a courtesy on a church leader, an important church leader, and they can send a police officer to go. He didn't even know. President Chanda was saying he bashed him, he didn't know. He just forced himself in there, shaking and demanding to close that meeting, which was not even a meeting, it was a courtesy call. We saw it live on Facebook. Mr. Woolley, you are a disgrace to democracy. You don't support the democracy in Zambia. And I'm glad that I've heard he's leaving. The reason he's leaving, Zambia is, he knows his prime minister is going to be defeated. I like the conservatives. They are my friends, but Mr. Woolley, what you are doing here, and by the way, you are seeing him wherever President Hakainde goes to open a mine or visit a mine. Mr. Woolley is there. Maybe they are business partners. Maybe that's why I understand he wants to remain in the country even after his tenure of office. Just remember, come 2026, your friend is not going to be in State House. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Archbishop President Pule talked about what happened to His Excellency the President. Although everything that happened was extremely sad, there's one aspect which made me actually laugh and even have tears roll down my face. That is when His Excellency was asking him, so you want me to go? Where should I go? And then the officer says, you should go there where you are going. I couldn't believe it.
President Jackson Slavwe. I like in our team, you know, Group 1. In the UPND, there's only one man who used to be in Group 1, the rest were Group 3. That's why you can't even find the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Jackson Slavwe.
Thank you very much. I'd like to recognize the presence of the 6th Republican President of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. I'd like to recognize the United Kwacha Alliance Chairperson, State Council Sakwiba Skota, all the political party presidents represented here, the new members. Allow me to welcome those that were introduced when we were arrested in Kafue, President Hector Songdo of UBZ, President Peter Chanda of NCP, President Wright Musoma of ZRP, as well as the new entrant to the alliance, the New Era Democracy, President Pomolo Stumbeko, who is not here with us, but ably represented by the Vice President and indeed the Secretary General. This press conference or press briefing will be incomplete if we don't attend to matters that are on everybody's mind. Yesterday, after our meeting, Chairperson went back home. There was no power. My phone switched off. My laptop switched off. I had to rush here very early in the morning to complete the work. Unfortunately, when I came in, there was no power. I just want to say that Isetiuka, Tiribe Malite, we Nazau come 2026 without instruments of power. We need to make that very clear. And the Zambian people are suffering. The Zambian people are complaining. The country is groaning. And we need to speak to these issues. And so I'd like to speak on the effects of the monetary policy rate, MPR, on the cost of living, as well as doing business. As we all know, the Bank of Zambia Monetary Policy Committee, at its meeting held on 13th to 14th, 2024, May 2024, decided to increase the monetary policy rate, MPR, by 100 basis points to 13% from 12.5%. The nation may wish to know that this is the sixth time policy increase of MPR in 12 months. This is unprecedented, bearing in mind the negative effects on ordinary Zambians and local business. Shame. By definition, the monetary policy is the control of the quantity of money available in an economy and the channels by which new money is supplied. The Bank of Zambia has been undertaking these hikes in a bid to bring inflation down to their targeted single-digit inflation below 8%. It is a fact that the Bank of Zambia contractionary policy interest rates and limits the money supply and slows the economy, just in a bid to decrease inflation. What are the effects of the increased MPR on ordinary citizens, local Zambian businesses, and indeed our economy? It is worth noting that Zambians are already experiencing the devastation of the increased monetary policy rate since President Hakainde Hichilema and his New Dawn administration took over the reins of government in 2021. Number one, there is less money in circulation on the market. It has become more difficult for individuals to find and spend money. If you are running a small business in Zambia, you'll agree to this point. Secondly, prices of goods and services such as meal, fuel or transport, of just general basic essentials have risen. We have seen many photos on social media of meal hitting 400 kwacha and beyond in some places, beyond the affordability of many Zambians in our country. This makes the majority poor Zambians across the country do not afford the basics that have alighted. Number three, raising the MPR reduces the purchasing power of money. Not too long ago, when the sixth president was president of the Republic of Zambia, Your Excellency 100 kwacha was buying over 5 liters. Now it is buying 3 liters of petrol. Those are the effects. 2 liters actually have been corrected. 2 liters. Number 4, low business sales for local businesses. If you go to the markets, you go to Soweto, you go to Chisekone, they'll tell you, the marketeers, that the sales have gone down. Vendors will tell you the same things. Those who are running salons and barber shops will tell you the same thing. The tailors, diners, the carpenters, the welders, the bus drivers, traders, and those who are running to timbers all over the country, including the Chinese also, they will tell you the same thing, that the sales have gone down. Some have closed shop, some are in the process of closing shop. Some businesses are now streamlining the number of employees they can employ by firing some of them. The effects of the monetary policy rate perpetuated by President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration, the so-called Champions League. The increase in the MPR leads to higher borrowing costs for business and individuals, and invariably slows down economic activity. Increased cost of credit, making loans more expensive for consumers, individuals and businesses. I think for those of you who have got loans, by Monday you'll be able to receive a text from your bank that your interest on that loan has gone up due to the increase in the MPR. Higher interest rates can deter investment as the cost of borrowing rises. Businesses postponed or scale back investment projects, including expansion plans, reducing capital expenditure and potentially slowing economic growth in the medium and long term. Why does the Bank of Zambia boss insist on raising the MPR when it is clearly hurting Zambians and the economy? Why, one may wonder. As stated, this is the 6th such intervention in the last 12 months by the Bank of Zambia. The questions that we have as the United Kwacha Alliance to the Bank of Zambia governor is, have the previous interventions of raising the same MPR achieved the desired results? If not, why are you continuing to do so? What is the motive of raising the MPR in a small economy like Zambia? It is clear to us in the United Kwacha Alliance that the economic script of our country is not being written by President Hakainde Hichilema and his government. And I want to repeat that. It is clear to us that the economic script of our country, Zambia, is not being written by President Hakainde Hichilema as well as his government. It is clear that the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and President Hakainde Hichilema's foreign friends, whom he proudly boasted about, who we know are frequenting State House every time, They are the ones doing that.
Community house.
And community house. President Hichilema's economic policies lack a human face, reminiscent of the structural adjustment programs of the 90s that took away jobs from our people and packed unemployment in our country, sold off state assets that Zambians and Dr. Kaunda fought for hardly, and we see that happening in this dispensation. For some of you may not know, this is privatization plus or reloaded or on steroids. President Hichilema and his government live in a make-believe world. They exaggerate their success even when our people are on the verge of starvation. They overinflate their economic success. This can only be said that they want to feed their ego, to project to the world that they are doing fine, when in fact they are not doing fine. I wish to call President Hakainde Hichilema to order, to come back to reality, come back to the local league, because our people are suffering locally. The marketeers at Sokone are suffering. So come back to the local league, because when you come to the local league, you will find Maita Mufrila Wanderers, you will find Bankanda, Bakalampa, you find Kabwe warriors. That is where you find the real people who are suffering in Zambia. Stop doing textbook economics and come and see the real reality that the Zambians are experiencing. For us in the United Kwacha Alliance, as part of the solutions, we are appealing to the New Dawn administration that, bearing this depressed state of our economy, it will be more prudent to loosen the parameters and allow inflation to go beyond the targeted 6 to 8%, other than just pleasing your friends in the West. Let people trade. Let that vendor who is selling apples at City Market be able to knock off and afford a bag of millimit. Let that welder get more clients to come to them and do the welding instead of people serving. Because when you have a high cost of living, people stop spending on other essentials. They begin to concentrate on just food, which is already expensive. So we are saying they are actually economies that have grown with 20 to 40% inflation. We need to stop this business of pleasing President Hakainde Hichilema's friends. That's what he said of Madam Georgieva, that she is my friend. So we should stop this business of pleasing President Hakainde Hichilema's friends. Zambia is already a small economy with more than 60% of its citizens living below the poverty datum line of $1 or $2 per day. Why subject your own people through hardships again? For us, we say, let the economy play on its own. Flood the economy with money. The Arab's economics. Let citizens be able to fend for themselves. Stop treating anyone who did business in the patriotic front regime as a thief, and pay the local suppliers, because they are the ones who replenish the local supplies of money. We are saying to President Hakainde Hichilema, lower the interest rates. This will result in reduced cost of capital, which in turn will provide a more conducive economic environment, which will in turn allow economic to grow. It's better for people to do business than for people to not do anything and resort to all sorts of crimes that we are currently witnessing in our country. Lower the cost of doing business. You cannot only lower the cost of doing business for your friends in mining and tourism as you have done by giving them concessions. Give incentives to local businesses so they can be able to produce more, they can be able to expand and employ more and make a dent on unemployment and poverty. Expand the private sector through radical economic policies. Do away with outrageous tax holidays given to mining companies and multinational corporations operating in the country. And I would love to commend His Excellency, the 6th Republican President, that when we said that we could run our mines, you listened to us and you begin to move in that direction. There is no need for us to go to the IMF at the moment. We can pay through using KCM, only KCM as an asset. Does it make sense that we give back KCM to Vendetta, who've never paid anything to this country, and yet the same Vendetta goes to the markets and gets money, a loan, 1.2 billion if I'm not mistaken, using the same KCM? Shame.
Shame.
We need to be ashamed of ourselves, especially for those who are running government and claiming themselves that they're the smartest people that the earth has ever seen.
Economists.
And yet they cannot run KCM. Then where is your smartness? Where is your intelligence? Does it just end in showing us graphs on TV how the economy is doing and not performing?
He's building toilets.
We need, and of course the toilets. President Wright Musoma said that. Modern economies, as I conclude, modern economies, colleagues and fellow Zambians, grow by spending and not what they are doing through the Bank of Zambia. Citizens have to spend. Households need to spend. Businesses need to spend. Because when they spend, economic activity increases in the market. A vendor will be able to get money as they sell their commodity. Now they are taxing Facebook, adverts. They are taxing all these kinds of things. What kind of a government is this? For us, in the United Kwacha Alliance, we are clear. Colleagues, with all due respect, mumuchinshi na mufilwa. Tupeniko space. You have failed to run the affairs of our people. Amanuna ya pela. And we are here to help you. Twala miafwa. Twala miafwa sana fi. By New Dawn administration. Na UPND Alliance. Twala miafwa. We shall help you to ensure that we liberate our people. And we repeat our call. Midole na 2026. We need to call for early elections. President Ichirema should call for early elections. His mandate has been eroded by the suffering of many Zambians. When a Zambian cannot afford to eat, to have 3 meals, when they go to bed hungry, when they have to resort to violence or criminality for them to fend for themselves and their family, then the mandate of that government is already eroded. And the option is for them to call for early elections. Stop this nonsense of harassing priests who are just doing their responsibility, barging into people's offices, arresting us. That won't lower the cost of living. What will lower the cost of living is to respond to the needs of the Zambian people, not the needs of your friends in Washington, not the needs of your friends in Dubai, not the needs of your friends in South Africa. Look to the Zambian people and attend to them. I thank you.
Thank you very much. You heard for yourselves that we have an expatriate president in State House. He should apply for Zambian citizenship and start saving our interests. I will now come to the last part, and that's the question time. We will start with ladies. They've done very well in asking probing questions, which is exposing, especially the Bank of Zambia. You indicate your hand. Tell us, introduce yourself and the media house you come from, and then pose your questions. And all the questions will be directed to the chairman, and if he feels that another member can tackle it, then he will pass it on. You're so handsome. Are you a lady? Any lady first? Okay, fine. Let's get the persistent man there.
Good morning, Father of the Nation. Good morning, presidents of political parties.
Good morning. Good morning.
President Peter Chanda, I recognize you. My name is Mishek. As I'm a journalist, but I'm going to pose a question as a concerned citizen. From my observation and research, I've concluded that...
Which mining house? Which media house do you come from?
Central Voice TV.
Central?
Voice.
Okay.
Yes, as I'm saying, according to my observation and research, I've concluded that you don't need a rocket scientist to conclude that democracy as a governance system has failed to develop Africa. Zambia is not an exception. My question is, maybe the father of a nation, being a former head of state, can help justifying how democracy can bring development. Why are we still holding on to a governance system that cannot bring development? Because I feel when the colonial masters were designing democracy to be our governance system, they included two components which cannot bring unity. In democracy, you always have the opposition and the ruling, and as such, the status quo makes it possible for people to unite, because there's always division. There's opposing and the one ruling. So why is it justification that democracy can help to bring development in Africa as well as in Zambia? And the last question that I have is God has blessed Zambia with a lot of wealthy mineral resources, and recently it was discovered that we have gold. So the question is, don't we have capacity, or don't we have people in Zambia that can run the mines? Why are we, from time immemorial, why is that foreigners are the ones that are reaping maximum benefits from our wealth-given resources, and now we have gold? Don't we have the capacity as a nation to run a gold mine besides other minerals?
All right, thank you very much. Yes?
Good morning. My name is Martin Nalajika from Portland. My question, I just want to find out, I know that we have about 2 years before the 2026 general elections. So when are you likely to unveil the Uka Party manifesto? And then my other question, maybe this one, the specific president can take this one. One of your own was sentenced to prison yesterday, 18 months. I just want to get your thoughts. What could be your reaction with regards to his, sentencing to prison? Thank you so much.
The third one? Yes.
My name is Salona from Millennium Radio. My question is, I wanted to get your reaction. I think the whole lot of you, I don't know who's going to respond. Obviously, Mwani did describe you as a bunch of comedians who Zambians cannot even listen to, and then they can't give you a standard. So I want to get your reaction as far as I'm concerned. Apart from that, the Secretary General of the UPND yesterday was meeting with ECZ. And they're saying to say they are meeting different political parties. There's been said to say there's been integrity in terms of the ECZ. It has been in the Champions League, I would say. It has been going to the Champions League. I don't know what to make of that situation. What you have faced in your various by-election that you participated. I know Jordan Sinabo.
No, Jackson Silava, not Gordon. Get the name right.
The election is part of the campaign. I would want to get your reaction to the ECZ thing to say they are integrity has been raised, and of course even themselves are praising themselves. And to that effect, ECZ, do you think Uka is really going to be registered and of course participate in the 2026 general elections campaign? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Chair.
Thank you. With regards to Mishek's first question about how can democracy bring development. Why is it not bringing in development? I'll ask President Musoma to address that one.
Thank you very much, Chair. To the contrary, Mr. and those of you who have a similar way of thinking, democracy brings development.
Maybe just hold on a while.
What is democracy? Democracy is about competition. Yeah. I'll give you an example. When President Sata became president, he did a lot of wonders. When President Lungu took over, we had to go again out of his way and make sure that we had a lot of hospitals, a lot of new airports, hydro power station, universities, clinics, acro bridges, thousands of acro bridges across the country. Okay? Today, HH is able to employ, to boast of having employed thousands of teachers and thousands of healthy workers because somebody built a lot of hospitals and clinics across the country, and because somebody also built for him a lot of schools and universities. So democracy, to the contrary, brings about development. Yeah, that is my position. Thank you.
We shall support democracy.
So we shall support democracy, and we are for democracy as the United Kwacha Alliance. Thank you.
On the second question from Mishek regarding the mineral resources and whether Zambians can run the mines, I'll ask President Kabwe to answer that.
Thank you so much, Chair. What we need to realize is that with regard to our mines, our mineral resources, we are coming from the colonial times when we had the British who designed everything to extract wealth from this nation. Unfortunately, after independence, we didn't bother to change the model of mining that we have, we've adopted what we found and did not bother to change it. And as a result of that, we have continued to lose quite a lot. I could talk on this for, the whole day, so I'll limit myself to the question. When we have a lot of Zambians who are very well qualified. Some of them went abroad to study, some of them studied at the University of Zambia. But you'll find that when you have a Zambian and an expatriate with the same qualification, the expatriate will be paid more. So our Zambians are just as qualified as other people to be able to run the mines. But unfortunately, we seem to put down our own people and decide that we can't do this. So one of the things that we believe that we need to do is to change the model of mining to one that will benefit this nation. We have very capable people. When expatriates come into Zambia, they are actually taught how to do the mining properly by the Zambians, and yet at the end of the day, it's the expatriates who begin to run our mines. We have this issue of looking down on ourselves and thinking that we are incapable. Now, unless and until we change the model of mining that we undertake and we allow our own people to take charge of our mining, we are going to continue losing wealth continuously. So this is one of the things that we as United Kwacha Alliance will be looking at, rather than just allowing people to come in and run our mines. We are well able. Number two, the gold mines that we are talking about, the wealth that we have is capable of taking us out of even this debt that we are going to the IMF for. But then because certain people helped us to get into government, we allow them to keep keep those mines, and we even take the taxes away so that they don't need to pay taxes. So as United Kwacha Alliance, those are the issues that we are going to address so that Zambians begin to benefit, the children and their children's children to benefit from the resources that God has given us. Thank you.
Perhaps I'll ask you as well to take on Matthew's Hot FM on the question of the manifesto.
That was a very good question. The manifesto is something that we are working on. We have no intentions of getting into government and then taking 3-4 months before we begin to put our plans in place. So our plan is to have this manifesto ready well before the elections, and we shall be able to share it well before the